Just applying to college really adds up. Never mind the cost of tuition. I'm learning this. My daughter is applying to a bunch of colleges this year. Application fees are $50 to $75 each, so you could be talking a few $100s right there. SUNY is trying to remove any obstacle to applying. Most of the schools are really hurting for students. So this week and next, you can apply for free. The details and the reasons behind it on today's Story of the Day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Long Run Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor in Lake Placid, providing comprehensive wealth management, retirement, and financial planning solutions. LongRunWealth.com. And from SciTech Business Solutions, training and consulting services to help businesses grow. More information at citec.org.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Wednesday, October 23rd. I want to save some time for a super fun bonus story, so let's get right to free college apps. It's not just SUNY. Even some private schools in New York State are waiving their application fees right now. They include all of the North Country's 2- and 4-year colleges. We're talking Paul Smith's, SUNY Plattsburgh, Jefferson Community College. The idea is to make college more accessible to New York families, but also to boost enrollment, which has been on the decline. Amy Feiereisel reports.
Until November 3rd, the State University of New York is waiving up to 5 application fees per student to its 64 colleges and universities. SUNY Chancellor John King says the goal is to get students exploring their higher education options.
If you want a big school, we've got University at Buffalo with 30,000 students. If you want a small liberal arts college, we've got SUNY Geneseo. If you're passionate about the environment, we've got our Environmental Science and Forestry College in Syracuse. So we've got something for everybody.
King says they also want to get the message out about financial aid and the cost of state schools.
We find that when students begin the application process, that may be the first time they and their families realize that our tuition at our 4-year campuses is only $7,070 for the year.
New York's tuition assistance program was recently expanded in this year's state budget. About 50,000 additional students were made eligible for the money, and the minimum award was doubled.
52% of our students actually go tuition-free because of the federal Pell Grant program and the New York State Tuition Assistance Program.
Alongside the SUNY system and the City University of New York, over 50 private universities are also waiving their application fees in October. It's part of a nationwide trend to remove application barriers. That's in the face of declining enrollment in higher education, which King says the SUNY system has been grappling with.
Last year, we saw our first enrollment increase in a decade.
Since 2010, the number of students enrolling in college in the U.S. has been on a steady decline, about a 1.5% drop per year. That's put a lot of financial strain on schools, especially private ones, which have seen the steepest drop in enrollment. Like several private schools in the North Country, Clarkson University in Potsdam is doing a college-wide reorganization because of money woes. NCPR spoke with Clarkson University professor Stephen Bird earlier this year about his department being cut.
In 2019, this was a hallway with 17, 16 people who were here just about almost every day. And by the fall, there'll be 6 or 7 of them left.
Enrollment also took a hit when the U.S. Department of Education revamped the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, last fall. Technical issues with the new form led to millions of students not being able to apply. That meant a huge delay in knowing whether they could afford to go to college. That had a big impact, says SUNY Chancellor King.
Nationally, there's no question that there were students who were negatively impacted. In New York, we were down about 11% statewide in FAFSA completion.
King says the SUNY system made a lot of efforts this spring and summer to make up for the federal FAFSA challenges. That included paying current SUNY students to provide FAFSA guidance to high schoolers.
Although we think we were able to mitigate the impact for SUNY, we still worry about the students who may have missed out on knowing how much financial aid is out there for them.
In removing fees and through related in-person and virtual events to help students with their applications, King hopes to inspire high schoolers to apply who maybe wouldn't have.
To say, you know what, I'm going to apply to college. And so this could be the opening of a door to a different future. And we know that students with a bachelor's degree earn on average about $1 million more over their lifetime. We want SUNY to be a path to upward mobility for New Yorkers all across the state.
Applications are free until November 3rd for SUNY schools. Applications at private universities are free until the end of October or have been waived year-round. Amy Feiereisel, North Country Public Radio.
So here's the bonus story. Sometimes you just want to be a bird flying above. And very occasionally, I suppose, you want to be a crow. If you find yourself in Plattsburgh tomorrow, you can indulge in your murderous thoughts. See what I did there? The annual Crow Ride takes off from downtown at 7 o'clock. People dress up in their best crow costumes and bike, rollerblade, or scoot around the city. Why? As Kara Chapman reports, just because.
It's a gloomy and starless night. I find Kimberly Cummins biking around the local farmers market parking lot.
How's it going? I'm good. How are you?
She's wearing a dark helmet and a black hoodie. It's got felt wings and wingtips attached.
And then my bike is decorated with different lights that are like kind of sparkly because since I'm wearing a lot of black to try to look like a crow, I want to try to make myself as visible as possible at the same time.
Cummins is the organizer of tonight's Crow Ride. It sounds just like what it is. A bunch of people dress up as crows, ride around, and make some noise. It's the first Plattsburgh has ever had. Cummins says she loves crows. They're clever, adaptable, ingenious, she says. And she's done a crow ride before, over in Burlington.
It reminded me of, like when you're a little kid and you're riding to your friend's house and you're kind of just goofing around and having a good time.
And that's what she's hoping people get out of tonight's ride.
I think we've gone through a lot lately, and I think this event has no real purpose except for just having fun with each other. And I think sharing this community bond of doing this silly thing for no good reason, and just for the fun of it.
Can I get your best caw?
Oh, caw! Caw! Caw!
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
As we talk, the next crow shows up.
You have life too! Hey, fellow crow!
Wow. Lauren Zito wears a black feathered masquerade mask and a black tracksuit. She says this kind of thing matches her vibe. She was drawn in by how mysterious it was.
Serious, and there was no sort of overreaching, like, why are we doing this? And the answer was, like, because we can.
More crows wheel in.
Creatures of the night, let us ride!
Laughter, whimsy, and joy take over. And even some non-human voices join in.
Are those real crows?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, nice. They're coming!
Rylan McKay of Plattsburgh is here with her daughter, Evelyn.
I'm wearing a black bat hoodie, but I'm just saying it's a crow because it's the only cool winged thing I have.
Rylan says this kind of thing is right up their alley. They used to go to Burning Man as a family when they lived on the West Coast.
We love dressing up and having fun. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Soon, it's time for the safety talk.
All right, my little crows, come on in!
Cummins goes over the rules. Obey the stop signs, go slow, respect pedestrians and drivers. Then she leads her flock into the heart of downtown. One crow is on rollerblades and has these big black retractable wings. Andy Alger says it took about 12 hours to attach all the feathers.
But I'm hoping it looks like I'm flying when I actually skate.
Alger merges with the murder as it rides past. The crows make their way uptown toward SUNY Plattsburgh. By the time they wind around Hawkins Pond, they're about 40 strong.
Let's do a group photo!
Cummins has them line up for a picture. Someone hands me a phone.
Okay, woohoo! Awesome.
Then Cummins gives the signal.
All right, let's go, crows!
And once again, they set off into the night. Kara Chapman, North Country Public Radio, Plattsburgh.
That story first aired in November 2023. The Crow Ride is tomorrow night in Plattsburgh at 7. If you love this mix of serious news stories and fun, joyous ones, like that one we just heard, you've found the right place. And this place is listener supported. Some 80% of our budget, 80%, comes from individuals like you and local businesses. We have 3 days left in our fall fundraiser and still about $100,000 left to raise. So give for this reporting that stirs your brain and your soul. Go to ncpr.org/give. Thank you so much. Music today by Lost in Beijing of Keen and Eddie Lawrence, now recently of Saranac Lake. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.